thriving using pumpkin pie spice and pumpkin seeds in the recipe today. All of the ingredients for this recipe are listed below the video. So with any muffin recipe, you're going to mix together your dry ingredients. I love this muffin because we start out with whole wheat flour, and I have 2 cups of whole wheat flour and 2 teaspoons of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of table salt. For spices, the Morning Glory muffin typically uses 2 teaspoons of cinnamon and a 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. But this time of year, I love to amp up the fall flavors using pumpkin pie spice. So I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice, and I do have a short video showing how to make your own homemade pumpkin pie spice. Because I love the warmth and earthiness of ginger, I add in a teaspoon of chopped crystallized ginger. And we add 1 cup of firmly packed brown sugar, light or dark. I'm actually using a scant cup of dark brown sugar. I'm using closer to 7/8 of a cup. And we use 2 cups of shredded carrots, and that's about 2 large carrots. And we add 1 shredded apple. I left the peel on, so that's another option. You can use a sweet apple, a tart apple. Now I add 1/2 cup of flaked coconut. I'm using sweetened coconut, and that's the reason I went a little scant on that 1 cup of brown sugar. I'm using 1/2 cup of chopped pecans. You can use walnuts. I just think the pecans and the coconut go together like peas and carrots. The next ingredient is 1/3 cup of seeds, and I normally use sunflower seeds. Today I'm using pumpkin seeds instead to go along with my pumpkin pie spice. So we have all sorts of flavors going on in here, and we're gonna set this aside, and we are going to mix up all of our wet ingredients and then fold this all together. We have 4 wet ingredients in this recipe, beginning with 3 large eggs. Another substitution that you can make is to use 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree for each egg and make it even more of a pumpkin pie Morning Glory muffin. 1/4 cup of orange juice. You can use pineapple juice. 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 2/3 cup of vegetable oil. You can substitute applesauce. And we have 1 other ingredient, and that is 1/2 cup of raisins, which I have been soaking in some hot water. So I'm going to drain these and add them. And if you did not have orange juice on hand, you could use 1/4 cup of this water that your raisins have been soaking in. All of the warm aromas of fall baking are in this Morning Glory muffin. This recipe is for 12 muffins, even though that looks like they're overflowing, but these are very moist and dense muffins, so they are going to be all right. These muffins are going into a 350-degree oven for 25 to 28 minutes. These muffins are done. They've cooked a total of 27 minutes. Let's put a toothpick in the center of one of the muffins in the center. The toothpick is coming out clean, just a little moisture. These are very moist muffins. So I started these out at 425 for the first 5 minutes, and then I reduced the oven temperature to 350. And that initial burst helped give us these beautiful muffin tops on these very dense muffins. You can do this with any muffin recipe. Start your muffins at 425 for the first 5 minutes of the bake time. Reduce the oven temperature to the normal bake temperature for the remainder of the cook time. I am so pleased with these Morning Glory muffins. Now bake you up a batch of these Morning Glory muffins for the fall. It's the perfect breakfast on the go. It's a perfect snack after school or after work. It's the perfect lunchbox treat.